The Help to Buy scheme is going to be fuel on the fire that is the Australian housing market. After years of the same bribing the public to rob a future generation of financial security, first home buyer schemes, we are still seemingly and unbelievably welcoming in a new breed of shared equity schemes like Help to Buy with arms wide open. It only takes a small amount of people armed with a 40% increase in purchasing power to move the market. That's what the Help to Buy scheme does. There's been recent updates as the Albo government tries to push this along with a whole bunch of other housing market spending initiatives through Parliament. In this video, I've recorded my thoughts and I'm reading the update. Hey guys, just thought I'd put a quick video out about the Help to Buy scheme. We have some updates. The reason I'm posting regularly on Help to Buy updates is because I think this scheme and other shared equity schemes, which we've also got currently in Victoria and New South Wales, are going to push the market to crazy all-time highs. I think that's going to be really bad. You don't have to be a genius to figure out that higher house prices are going to hurt us as a society, but that's what's going to happen. So I'm paying close attention here to what's happening. So I'm just going to quickly dig into what the Help to Buy scheme is about. It's a shared equity scheme, meaning the government, in the Help to Buy scheme, the federal government pitches in up to 40% of the purchase of a property. I can only afford to borrow 500 grand, for example. It might be a bit lower based on their income caps, but let's roll off 500 grand. If you're buying an 866, the government pitch in 40%, and then the rest is the 500 that you can borrow. Obviously, this is going to have some impact on the market.
Mortgage experts are warning government Help to Buy schemes can leave home buyers worse off.
I mean, you either agree or you don't that first home buyer schemes in general help push the market higher. And it makes sense, right? It creates demand. I think where people get a little bit lost with these things is where they try and quantify it. But the idea is that it doesn't matter if it creates one extra borrower at one extra home, because if they've got a 40% increase in their borrowing capacity, they're just going to buy what they want. The point I'm trying to make is it doesn't need many people in the market to inflate the market. So you can see here this article from Domain. The title is Australia's life-changing 2% property deposit scheme is closer. The 2% property deposit scheme is kind of what it sounds like. If in that $866,000 house scenario, you only need 2%. That's all you need to get into an $866,000 property. Like, I just don't know how people think this is going to be a good idea. So let's dig into it a bit. The federal government's new Help to Buy laws, which will assist 40,000 Aussies to purchase a property with as little as 2% deposit, are in the home stretch. The reason I'm paying attention to this is it hasn't made it through government yet. You can bet your bottom dollar it will in some way, shape or form. 40,000 people that have access to this. I don't know if it's going to change the market. I would assume it will, based on past things, but time's going to tell there. So the article goes on about 40,000 eligible low to middle income Aussies will have this opportunity to get into the housing market. Later on down here, Minister Julie Collins told the ABC it would be life-changing for 10,000 Aussies per year. So I'm guessing they're limiting it to 10,000 per year. The thing I want to say about all of these rules, because people can come back and say, look, this is why it won't happen. And there's lots of reasons you can tell me why it's not going to affect the market. But these schemes morph and they change. Things happen where they expand it. Look at the New Home Guarantee, which was originally the first home loan deposit scheme. That was only 10,000 spots. And since 2020, it's morphed and changed. Now there's 3 different schemes under the one scheme. I think there's 50,000 spots per year as opposed to originally the 10,000 spots per year. That's on a totally different scheme, by the way. This Help to Buy is on top of that. You can look at the first home guarantee, which was brought in the year 2000, which was kind of a policy thing where the states were losing capital gains tax. The federal government sweetened them up with the first home owner guarantee. But again, that was meant to be a temporary measure. And what we've seen over the last 24 years is that it's morphed and changed and grown into something that's become a bit of a monster, I guess you could say, if you look at it from a particular view. The idea that, this scheme is only there to help low-income earners is not right. One thing I want to say, and I'm going to go back on this thing where it's like, this scheme's not going to do anything because these governments change things, and I've seen it, I've observed it over the years. I'm going to give you an example here. So We can see here that a single needs to earn maximum of 90 grand a year to qualify, and a couple 120 grand a year. But if you look at basic income calculations I've done here, this is $90,000 per year, assuming you've got no debts, no HECS or anything else, no kids, and minimum amount of commitments. Your borrowing capacity, let's go to a middle stream lender, is $460,000. That's going to get you a $766,000 property. So not even doable in New South Wales, in Sydney. I don't think. You're going to be kind of picking at the edges. Victoria, probably on the edges of doing it if you want to build something nice. But again, these things will morph because they'll throw more demand into the market. Prices will rise and therefore they'll increase the caps, which is what's exactly happened with the first home loan deposit scheme, which is now called the first home guarantee. They've had to up everything. They've upped all the caps. And that's only been in 3 years. That's the point I want to get across. These governments are going to backstop the market. And I don't know where it's going to end. It's not good. Like I said at the top, it's really bad, but this is the way governments are going. And I can tell you they're going this way because New South Wales and Victoria already have implemented it. And I want to take you here to an article. The article goes into how the Victorian government have helped. They've spent $1.1 billion in shared equity contributions already. If you want to know why the Melbourne property market isn't tanking that bad, because it probably should be, obviously we've got supply issues, which is kind of keeping things afloat because there's less stock around. But there's less stock around because people are able to buy these properties using these schemes. So the government's going to back these things as far as they can go. Guys, I want to hear what you think of this. How are you thinking about it? How does it make you feel? Like, how are you going to change your life moving forward? Because some people are going to use this as an opportunity. Some people, they're going to get disparaged by it and kind of lose hope, and I can understand that. Either way, it's not good long term. Think it's going to be the same thing as what I've been saying. I'm not changing my opinions either way. The home prices go up. It's a thing. All asset prices go up. Stock prices go up. If you look at a long-term graph of these markets, they all go up. The reason is because we live in a debt-based system. It's a fiat currency system that requires more and more debt to be produced. People go to me, oh, is property a good investment? It's looking bad. I said, property is a fine investment. You know, you get a return on your money and it's guaranteed to go up every year. What is not good is the amount of debt that the average person will take out on a property. And that's my main concern over the coming years, because as a mortgage broker, I can see people's attitudes towards money. So I've been able to see people's attitudes towards money and debt. I kind of feel like people won't be ready. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. The only thing that's certain this decade is uncertainty. And if you're feeling it under 6% rates, you're going to feel it if rates go up more. And this is the thing. We went from 2 to 6 in the space of 15 months. Let's say they come back down to 4 home loan rates. Who's saying they can't go from 4 to 8 or 4 to 10 in a shorter period of time, sometime in the future? And this is the thing. We need to be playing defense against these sorts of scenarios playing out. The truth is we should have always been doing that. We just had a good run, and I feel like people aren't putting enough cash away and they're exposing themselves to potential future risk. So I've got no problem about property. I've just got a problem about the risk, because if you get wiped out by that, you're gone. Like, how do you come back? If you go bankrupt, it's 7 years minimum. So this is the big thing. Some people are going to win big, but a lot of people are going to lose big as well if they're not prepared. Watch the debt levels and make sure you've either got the cash flow, the income, or if you haven't got the income, you better have a shit ton of cash lying around. Who knows what's going to happen. Hey guys, I've been doing really well on YouTube. If you like the video, subscribe. The YouTube audience are really good at seeing what's wrong. They're really opening their eyes up to the shortfalls of our society and our economy. And what I'm trying to do is provide a place where people can do something about it. We've identified the issues and they're not good, but the question still remains, how do I make it financially? So I've created a group, QR code's there. If you want to join, participation is success. So ask questions, provide your opinions, be nice about it, don't be an a-hole. Hope to see you in there. Cheers.